Hey, viewers and listeners, we are live and welcome to the Seven Cities Shoptalk Sports Show, broadcasting to you from the beautiful state of Virginia to everyone all over the world. We want to thank you for joining us in another episode of our brand of dysfunctional camaraderie. And as of now, this shop is open. And as you can probably tell, I am talking hastily because we are doing a rapid fire show. We're going to see how quick we can get all of our predictions in and do our good, the bad, the ugly before the UVA game tips off at 9 o'clock. As you can see, I got all of my co-hosts here except Chad Wood and Ethan, and we're going to get this show started right on the spot here. I'm going to start with Amy. How you doing, Amy? Go ahead and give me your opening
Hey,
monologue.
hey. The good was the defense. The bad, the offense. To me, the ugly was the quarterback getting hurt and couldn't score.
Okay. All right. So she gave us the opening monologue and her good, the bad, the ugly in one shot. How about that for efficiency? AB, are you AB, are you ready to give your opening monologue and uh and your good, the bad, the ugly in one shot?
Well, good afternoon, y'all. Man, where do I even begin? I honestly, I mean, the good would just have to be Cam Robinson coming through. But everything, I mean, there's really not a lot of good to say about that game. I mean, we all knew that we probably had one. We've been saying it for weeks. We probably had another loss in us somewhere. It was bound to happen. Um, I was hoping that we'd win out, and I definitely didn't want it to be against Wake. But at the end of the day, if we had to pick a loss from the three games left, this is the game that I would choose. I'd rather go and beat Duke and beat Duke and Tech. I'm sorry. But yeah, it really sucks seeing Morris go down like that. I mean, we kind of knew, you plan the game around that quarterback, and unfortunately he went down kind of early. Do we know an update on him, by the way?
For what I understood, the coach said he's hopeful. And you know, he when he went out, he came back in. He came back onto the sideline in street clothes, and he seemed like he was okay. But of course, everyone knows that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's just when you get in that MRI machine, they gotta scan your head and make sure that how or see how much brain bruising there is. And that's something that we definitely hope is not as bad as what it was. They probably gave him some simple tests while he was in the back there, and he passed those, and they were allowed him to come out. Because if I think it was any more severe, they would either took him to the hospital or they would not have let him come out. So that's kind of where I am right now. I just
Okay.
rushing back, getting from a meeting myself, so I couldn't even listen to the coach's show.
And,
So I guess, is that your good, the bad, the ugly too, or did you give that
well,
yet?
well, the like I said, the good was Cam, the bad and the ugly was just us. Chandler going down, and then I think our coaching. I don't think we were as aggressive as we could have been. Kalen's experienced. He wasn't a freshman. He wasn't. I mean, he's got talent, and we got him for a reason. So I just felt like we underutilized him. Um, and I don't feel like we were aggressive with our play calling, which ended up showing on the scoreboard. So
Let me come to you, Ed. That was a good analysis, AB and Amy. Let me come to you, Ed. What did your opening monologue, good, bad, the ugly, as well?
There we go. Um, uh, Sort of tacking on to what AB was saying. It's the good is the defense. Cam Robinson. Uh, we were banging on the secretary. Lord, uh, we were banging on the secondary. Much better.
That could
Lord,
go. That could go either way.
yeah, yeah.
That
I'm like,
term
oh,
That is like
I was
so
like,
bad.
there's no saving this. Okay. Anyway,
we gonna put that on our blooper reel.
yeah. I think that should just be on a loop. Um, no, the defense was the good. It was the only good. Um, the bad was, of course, Morris getting hurt, but the ugly was just we for all of our pulpit pounding about uh, running the football. The red zone play calling was lacking.
It was
I think.
horrendous.
Okay.
This was the first whole UVA game I watched.
Yeah, it was what are we doing?
Right.
I
Jazz
was
Kitchen didn't have any idea what to call on
well.
play.
This has sort of been my issue with him for a while now, is that teams are crowding the box on us. Okay, they don't want us to run the ball. I got it. But we're not doing the things we could do with the receivers. We're not doing the things we could do with the backs as far as scheming to get people open. I mean, if we're not gonna, it's like Ballhawk was saying on his show Sunday, or I like to call it show prep. If that's what we're going to do, then run the football. Just
why not put a fullback and a running back in and give them a different look? You got to do something.
We were a different team when we could run what they call 12 personnel, one back, two tight ends. Teams couldn't load up on us. The Sage and what's the tall kid? Crap.
Dakota,
thank you. When Sage and Dakota were in there, you couldn't cheat to one side. You can say, well, this was a blocking tight end, this is a receiving tight end, so I need to account for him in the pass pattern. I don't have to worry about this other guy. You had to worry about both of them, and they were really good, and both tight ends were really good at a run block. So you lost a big chunk of your run offense. I get it.
Receiving. Both of them could.
And especially in the end zone, the tight end is the backup quarterback's best friend. So it's a nice big target with sure hands. What's not to like? But Dakota's not able to play, so next man up. As Ballhawk was saying on Sunday, the problem with that is that the next man up may not be able to do the same things that Dakota did. Dakota was he has a unique skill set. He's very tall, very rangy, but he's also a really good run blocker. You wouldn't think it to look at him, but he is. So we've struggled with that. But again, what I know about offensive coordinators would probably not fill up a thimble, and you'd probably have room left over. But I do know that there are things that you can do, and we're not doing it, and it's frustrating to me. Like I said, if let's just line up in the Wildcat and snap it 3 times. I would rather do that than run that little trickeration thing that we ran. I had flashbacks to Robert and I with that. It was just really the ugly was the game. The whole game was just ugly.
Well, this is what I could say for my opening is kind of like, well, if you watch any of my pregame, postgame, halftime, especially from the halftime on, I was very worried. But then when we got at the end of the game, it was so deflating. You could hear that air. Well, first of all, when Chandler took that hit, I could see the faces of fans that were right there. You could see them saying, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what we're gonna do. Chandler's hurt," and I can see why. AB and I had even talked about this in some other games when Chandler had gotten hurt. They, meaning the coaching staff, seemed like they were scared to death of having the backup come in. We hadn't seen Daniel come in and throw the ball under any circumstances up until Chandler got hurt seriously and had to go out. And I can tell you this: I feel
is
like
that because he's not getting any practice reps.
There you go. You hit it right on the head. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Well,
And the reason
typically
why he can't get
the backup doesn't get a lot of reps, but
they get no reps. They get no reps with the starters for the most part. You know, they may run scout. They may get some work with the backups, but they do not get any time with the starting wide receiver core running backs. So timing's bad. Everything is not synced up. And
Well,
and a lot of times, go ahead,
if
Amy.
Chandler Morris is in concussion protocol, he's got at least 10 days before he can even come back, right?
No, that's not always true.
It depends upon how you do on the tests.
Yep, depends on how you do on the test.
Well, if you go out and they put your butt in street clothes and you don't get to come back in, what is that saying?
Well,
that's saying that they gotta be safe. That's a precautionary safety.
Yeah, having had 3 or 4 concussions, I can speak to that with a little bit of certainty. You don't always know right away if you have a concussion. Sometimes you just got the crap knocked out of you. Someday, back in the 70s and 80s, we just got our bell rung. Did we have a concussion? Maybe not. I don't know. Nobody went to the ER. There wasn't any such thing as concussion protocol. But I can tell you that after a severe head injury, I typically felt okay. I mean, you're sort of tense after an accident anyway. But the next day, you just felt next day or two, you felt fuzzy, for lack of a better description. It's like your hands are have oven mitts on them. It's a really disconcerting feeling.
Even 10 years ago, when 11 years ago now, when my kids were playing sports, Dylan got concussion. In order for him to get back on the mat or get back on the baseball field, he had to go to the doctor. He had to go through all these tests. And it was like 5 or 6 days before he could do anything without a doctor's note. So are they not doing that at the college level for these kids?
Oh no, they're doing that and more.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have the doctors in Blacksburg. We have good doctors.
Well, let me come to you.
People doctors.
Speaking of that, Wood, hold on, come back, Wood.
You need to go back, go away.
Come back,
this
Wood.
was a 4-person conversation.
Come back, Wood.
See your number 5 right out the door.
Hey, Wood, we're doing our open monologues and good, the bad, the ugly. Go ahead and give us your open monologue / good, the bad, the ugly, and maybe even some information. I mean, have you heard anything about Chandler Morris other than what we've already talked about?
I haven't really heard what you talked about, but last I heard, Elliot was very careful in the last couple of days to say the protocol concussion. He said upper body and neck, but then he said protocol today or yesterday, I believe. So it'll be close Saturday. If he's in protocol, which it seems like he is, I'm with Amy. I don't think he'll play this week. I don't think it'll take 2 weeks. But if they label it, I don't know if he is or not, like neck injury or upper body. He said he didn't practice today. He was out there, but they're hoping to practice tomorrow. So that's where I'm a little confused. If he's in protocol, I don't think he would practice at all tomorrow. So good, the bad, the ugly. The good with the defense. I mean, their defense played about as well as you can ask them to play.
Yeah.
I mean, the bad and the ugly is everything else. I think the play calling was a little bit terrible. I don't know if you guys touched on that a little bit. I think we were way too conservative. I'm not blaming the quarterback altogether. I just think he was very limited in what he could do. And
I think the coaches were limited on what they could call because you can't call the same plays. Being a coach, you know that. You can't call the same plays that Chandler has for Daniel. The skill sets are actually very different. And also there are different types of quarterbacks. One's a little bigger guy, one's a smaller guy.
And also special teams. Our special teams weren't good. We gave up that punt return touchdown for the half that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. We knew at that point when Morris went down, we couldn't get in the shootout, and plays like that, special teams and big plays were going to make the difference, and we didn't make them. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully he'll be back this week and take the weekend out, have a couple of things happen. We can still control on destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we are definitely hopeful that he can get back out there. Shout out to Herman Bailey. He's been on a rampage. I've seen him on all the message boards. He's been getting into it with everybody. and he's been to the school of Seawood University, and he was laying it on thick. Chad, you would have been proud of Herman, but he was very upset about about the play calling.
I don't know
About
how to take that. I think that's a compliment. I'm not sure.
Put it this way, it's a compliment to the school of Chad Wood. How about
There's nothing wrong with picture books.
you know, the typical Chad Wood, the non Skip Bayless or the Skip Bayless that we know of in Chad Wood, Herman was had definitely taking some classes on your ground. So
well, Ed said multiple head injuries. Now it all makes sense, Ed. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I've been telling you.
So hopefully these guys can get them get the coach number one can sync up with Daniel Kalen, and I really think there needs to be more shorter passes. Use Jamal Edrin. They did not use Jamal Edrin at all. Garrett Lucas, thank you for tuning in. He goes, how's QB1 doing? Y'all think he's going to play? Exactly. Thank you for tuning in. We're just going over that. Right now, we don't know. Everything's touch and go right now, Garrett. The hope is that he's going to play. You don't really know exactly kind of where he is right now. They have to go through this protocol or upper body injury protocol. And we should know something. If he's like Wood said, if he's not practicing by Wednesday, Thursday, then we'll know something. But if he's not there practicing, maybe he doesn't have on his helmet, maybe he has on his shoulder pads, and maybe he's in his shells without the helmet. We'll see. We don't know quite yet. But we'll figure it out.
Get him through a practice and then see how he responds to that.
That's right. It's absolutely right.
I would think if he doesn't do anything tomorrow, he's not gonna play.
It's going to be really tight if he doesn't.
He's into it. If he doesn't do anything tomorrow, that's a very bad sign, in my opinion.
Yes. If he doesn't do anything,
if they are not working with y'all's backup, if they didn't start working with that boy on Sunday, they in trouble.
No, I think right after the game they probably started working for his game plan right then and there.
But see,
find out what he's comfortable with, what he's not comfortable with.
Because honestly, they're doing two. Go ahead, AB.
This is the thing that pisses me off, though, because we spent money on this kid too, and we all know that you have to be prepared. I mean, this could have happened at the beginning of the game, ending the game, middle of the game. Anything could happen on any given day, and so it's the preparedness, and it just showed that even if something happens, we weren't prepared to replace him. Obviously, he's our go-to guy. We know that. But if you spend that kind of money on a quarterback and his backup, why was he not prepared to go in and finish the game?
Yeah.
And why are we coaching like some wimps? It was terrible.
Well, they could have coached better, but the reason why that they don't do that, AB, is because you only get so many hours through the NCAA to coach kids and for kids to practice. And
but he
only run. And I mean, it's just think about it in the pros as well. The backup gets no reps. Everything is dedicated to the starters, and
that's also the pros, though. That's a different level of football. College,
it is, but it's not that different when it comes to practice and allotting time for starters and backups. You know what I mean? They're not going to just put him in randomly and let him throw to Edrin, to Cam Ross, to Terrell Harris. They're not going to do that. And Chandler, honestly, needs that time himself because Chandler's not sharp as well. We were just hoping Chandler was going to have a game similar to getting back to normal like he had the previous game. Chandler needs all the reps that he can get as well. So they're not going to take anything from Chandler because Chandler's been off as well for the last, previous games up until last game. So they're not going to take anything from him on that point.
Why would you if you've got a backup quarterback and you've got backup wide receivers? I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not a football coach by no means, but why would they not be practicing? Why wouldn't you have your backups throwing to your backups?
They are practicing. They're practicing.
Yeah.
But they're practicing with other backups.
That's what I'm saying. If this quarterback that they put in to replace Chandler, then put in who he's used to throwing to.
Well, you're not gonna.
You may or may not be able to run the same things.
Yeah. You're not gonna sit
They
Cam Ross.
couldn't run anything that they were trying to run on Saturday.
I'm not.
I'm not
Well,
sitting Cam Ross or Jamal
I think.
Elgin.
Yeah.
Latrell
No.
Harris
You figure it out, Danny.
We sent all our backups to Blacksburg. That's why.
Well, I'm just saying, you can't. I mean, that is a logical in theory, Amy, to think that way. But you're not going to sit your best players. It's just that, and Daniel having limited snaps as well. Daniel, hasn't even really played, in a game where it's actually like a live bullet situation, meaning he's throwing the ball downfield when it matters.
Could you? I'm not. I'm with you on the limited practice time, and I'm not benching Cam to start, whoever. But it seems to me that there you could, the time to with the backup and say, hey, what are you comfortable with running? Is not middle of November. It's July. It's August. It's even September. Hey, Danny, what are you comfortable running? What do you like? What do you not like? Is there something you just absolutely don't want us to run when you're in?
Right.
Do that and have a list of 10 or 12 plays that he's really comfortable running. And if Chandler goes down, then it's plan B.
Well, this is what I can say to AB's point. Now, AB, if Daniel Kaelin comes out and looks like blah this Saturday,
then
we definitely have.
Now you have a problem.
We have a huge issue because he's going to get, especially with the things going on with Chandler, he's going to at least get 50% or more of the reps because Chandler's in protocol right now, and they are preparing a game plan. They've been preparing a game plan since Saturday night, Sunday morning with Kaelin in mind. So if Kaelin is worth anything, he's in his books. He's learning what they're trying to teach him in a way where he has to be successful against the Duke defense. Because remember, the game plan changes every week based off of who you play. So they're going to have to try to structure an offense that they think Daniel could be successful in going against a really good Duke team and a Duke defense that will get after you. So it's a lot of different moving pieces. Now, AB, you're absolutely right. If he looks terrible coming in, then we should all go with pitchforks and knives and everything and have something, and we should go after this coaching staff because Daniel should at least be able to complete, a lot of the short passes down the field, and to matriculate the ball, run the ball, and work the play action game. That's just my opinion, just watching, because in the halftime when he came out, I mean, most of it they were throwing like this, side to side, side to side.
Well,
they did. Go ahead.
I agree with Devin. He said that he looked unprepared, and that's on the coaches. And I think the biggest thing that I'm thinking is, he still should have. He knows the playbook. I get what everybody's saying, but I don't think that he is at the point that we had to be so lackluster in our aggressiveness. We our play calling was so bad, and so I think we underplayed him. We underplayed him at his skill. I mean, we saw him take off with the ball. He had a 60-yard run. The kid can run. The kid can throw. And I just don't think we used him at his ability. And this is why exactly at the beginning of the season, everybody's like, oh, are we going to give Des Kitchen a break? And I was the first one to be like, absolutely freaking not. Because talent can make any coach look good. And we knew that we had talent and what we paid for the talent. We knew we had it. This is when it shows. This is the type of stuff that it shows that Des Kitchen still is not able to make proper play calling, in my opinion.
This is what I can say. I think that what happened. This was a game you could definitely go after Des on, for sure. Because there's a lot of questionable calls, a ton of questionable calls this game. But most coaches that are good, they got good players. So I'm kind of in the middle on that, AB. I think Tony Elliott was a phenomenal play caller. But what did he have? He had, outside of like Alabama, LSU, and a few other schools, the best recruiting classes for like 10 years straight, or one of the top 10 recruiting classes 10 years straight. So it's hard to, we're kind of I think I'm kind of in the middle on some of that.
Dean Smith is a great coach, but Phil Ford helps a lot.
Yeah, but Des Kitchens gave us plenty of games. It was more than just.
Yeah. This is not the first time he's done this.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, he definitely deserves this one. Look at Kobe.
He's given us many years of data that he's not a good coordinator. He's never been successful as a coordinator anywhere he's ever been, including the NFL. Sure. So I'm with AB.
Sure. I can co-sign on some of that. Garrett saying, yeah, he's more of a running quarterback. Kobe saying you need more, or you need to stop being so conservative. Thomas, the jewel dropper, says game speed can only be can only be learned on the job, not in practice. The game is different. And I think that really caught up to him really fast because he done, the live bullets, you don't know how you do until you get on the field.
Yeah, and that's where
you see a difference after halftime. It slowed down for him a little bit.
Yeah,
and but he still needs to be better.
Well, like you were saying earlier, we had him in games earlier in the season, but basically it was just a turnaround and hand off.
Absolutely.
Let the kid run the offense.
You're going to see what's going to happen on Saturday because I don't believe Chandler's going to be playing.
I wouldn't count on it.
Saturday is going to be the biggest thing, man.
if Chandler can't play on Saturday, Duke wins the game.
How's Virginia Tech doing, Amy?
I already told you, Chad. I don't know why you keep harping on that.
It's not even basketball season yet.
Like damn Cowboys,
you just come on here and be negative every chance you get. So how's your team?
I am not.
I just want to know.
I negative when I first started?
You've been negative the whole show. Yeah. How's
Chad, ask her about her teeth.
No. I was not negative, and I was not negative in my posts either. The defense was humming. The UVA, it's the only game I've watched the whole game all season.
I feel you, Devin.
UVA's defense was rock solid.
I feel you, Devin, on that.
But when the defense is on the field more than your offense is, what happens? You lose the damn game.
This year you're an expert on losing games, so I'll take your word on that.
Well, there you go.
Devin says, I got to be harder on the team. I think I'm pretty fair, from some standpoints, but I also understand what kind of goes on from the inside of having to put kids in, and when a player gets hurt who's as important as the quarterback, and you don't have a game plan for that backup. That the backup change, the game plan changes every game. I know that, and if you go in to the game and your skill set doesn't match the game plan, because that's what I think happened. His skill set didn't match the game plan that they had set up. You're not preparing. No coach in any level of football is setting up the backup. The thing is this: the backup needs time to get better, and the reason why they are a backup because they're not as good as the starter. So Daniel's going to need his own time to play during the live bullets to get better, and that for me was obvious that he was not ready for the live bullets. But you could see things start to get a little bit incrementally better during the after halftime with him. It just wasn't there right yet. And Wake Forest's defense, we need to give them some damn credit as well. Wake Forest defense. I know they took, like they checked out against that Florida State game. They shut down SMU's running game, which they're a running team. They can do both pretty decently. But we got to give Wake Forest. They played probably the game of the year for themselves against UVA as well. Regardless of when Chandler was in there, they were playing tough. Thomas is saying pocket field, the sacks. The ball security was absolutely awful. And that's on him. That's on the quarterback. That wasn't on any of the coaches or the coordinators. He had 2 fumbles in there, and also Jamari had a fumble as well going in for an opportunity to tie the game. And that was the first what? Was that like the first 3 fumbles? Anybody? Can you follow me up on that? I think that was the first 3 fumbles of the season that they lost. Let me see here. Garrett Lucas, it was a close game. We were trying to stay in the game.
The
Right.
defense was keeping UVA in the game, and the defense was keeping Wake Forest in the game, because the only real touchdown was the freaking run back from the special teams. There was no other touchdown, right?
No, there was no offensive touchdown scored in this
Right.
game. Period.
Either team.
Right.
That's right. Big question. He says, "Yeah, you're right." He said Tony's job security. That'd be interesting.
It's a fair question.
I mean, 8
Well,
wins.
Devin,
I mean,
you're gonna lose to VT whether Chad likes it or
oh
not.
my God.
Oh Lord.
And she's stirring the pot. Thomas says there should be a package for each QB regardless of opponent. I'll co-sign on that. I'll give you some of that back, Thomas. Okay, I'll follow you on that. Some of that. There should be some kind of a package.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think they got to it a little bit in the second half, and it was, but Daniel has to, his fumbles led to 6 points directly, because he fumbled on their side of the 50 on a scramble. Then he had another fumble in the pocket as well. So that turned into 6 points, and that's on him. But you can see they started to play a little better. He started to play a little better after halftime. But overall, the offense just has to be better, period. And it has been going down. And Devin's been right about that. Devin's also saying, he says, "Hey, you are correct." And Thomas says, first 3 lost fumbles of the season. Yep, that's what it was. The O-line, the O-line has to step up. It needs to be more of an O-line centric game for me moving forward. The O-line has to block better, and it's easy to say that, but it's so hard to execute. And they have to be better run blockers, pass blockers, everything, because they have to really protect the QB even more, because we see that he has ball security issues. Man, this has been great. This has been a great subject here. Great subject. Now let's get into our predictions for the Duke game. Now this should be good. Are we ready for this? Because we got 20 minutes before tip-off, UVA versus Hampton. AB, let's get some predictions going for this Duke game. This is gonna be crazy, I know. What do you got in player of the game for this Duke game?
I think you should do with Chandler or without.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
That's a good question.
Without Chandler, 24-17, Duke. With Chandler, 27-24 UVA.
Ooh. Okay. All right. That's a good one.
Player of the game, I'm gonna say Edrin, because he's a big guy, and I think he's gonna be in the, just based on what Duke has. We need a bigger, taller wide receiver, and Cam Ross is good, he's fast, but we need somebody who can go up over the defenders and make plays, and I think he's the one.
Well, he needs to get more targets. Period. He needs to get the most targets.
Agreed. He's got the best hands. He's got the best hands on the offense right now. He
has the best hands, and he has the best post up. And it's an easy route. Go get 5, turn 6 yards, turn around, put your hands up. A la Michael Irvin. He should be able to Michael Irvin everybody on the Duke defense all game. And that's what I'll be looking for. 5-6 yards, no drop, and catch the ball. Beat him up, beat the guys up, fight him, because he's really good at that. If you ever watch him, beat him up, get fast 5-6 yards, turn around, post up. Ball should be coming right at your head.
3-step balls out.
He's saying, they need to run Whaley a little bit more. I'd like to see that as well. Great call on that, Devin. Let me come to good call on that, AB. Let me come to you, Wood. What are you thinking from a prediction and player of the game?
Without Chandler Morris, I'm gonna go 31-20 Duke. With Chandler Morris, I'm going to go 34-27 UVA. And then obviously throws off your player of the game. If we win the game, I'm going to go with Terrell Harris. But either way, I think Cam Robinson will have a
bold choice
on defense. But that's how much Morris means to the program at this time. So yeah,
man.
it's win or lose depending on if he plays or not. We'll find out tomorrow.
That's right. Let me come to you, Amy. Let's hear it.
I'm going to say
A loss either way.
if Chandler plays, it's a UVA win 28-20. If 28-21, if he doesn't play, it's going to be a win by Duke 34-21.
Mhm.
And Ezrin, you know why I'm picking Ezrin? Because last night when I watched the Green Bay game, all I could think of was that boy looks like is it Dontavian Wicks? How do you say his name? AB?
Yeah, Dontavian. Uh-huh.
He reminds me of Wicks when Wicks was playing for UVA.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. All right. That's a good analysis. I'll take that. All right, Ed, your turn. I got you mute. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right. Let's see. With Chandler, 37-24. I feel like maybe I'm not being fair to the defense, but anyway.
You're not being mathematically correct.
Yeah, whatever. Math was never my strong suit anyway. With Kalen, brace yourself, Chad. I'm going to say 23-17 Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Player of the game is in that case would be Sage Ennis.
Sage
Ennis. That's a bold prediction there.
The tight end needs to be featured more.
No doubt about it.
When he picks UVA both ways, when he picks UVA, right? You know what happens. Just saying.
We got 2 words for you: Florida State.
This is what I can say as well.
Anyone?
This is what I can say. I am picking with Chandler. I'm looking at 31-34. Excuse me, 31-34 UVA. Without Chandler, I'm looking at 17-28 Duke. I just don't see him stopping Menza, and I think the defense gets worn out. Of course, with the win, I'm looking at my man Cam Robinson again. He is the freaking man. That is my guy.
Mr. Touchdown.
He is all over the field. He's making plays. I just feel like they just need to continue to the defense needs to continue to play at the level to even have a shot at with these last 2 games. And AB, you got something. You got something with that. If he looks terrible, we're all gonna rant, negatively rant on the next show, because if Kalen looks like he hasn't progressed, or they're not prepared, and they're using the way that they're trying to use him, and I mean, unless Duke is comes out and plays some kind of super game, they should be able to play and execute somewhat, even with Kalen at quarterback after a week of practice with the starters. And I'm looking to seeing exactly where this program is going. They still can do something special. That's the thing. They still can do something special moving forward. But with that being said, everybody, we got everything in. Let's go ahead and give our closing monologues, and let's get to the basketball game. Let me come back to you, Ed. Closing monologue.
Hey, wait, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Amy.
Wait.
Go ahead.
The player that was the ACC Player of the Year last year, that LOWE kid, Lau, however you say his name, Asian kid, he's playing for University of Kentucky. What team did he play for in the ACC last year? Was it the Miami team?
I'm not sure. Who are we talking about? I'm lost.
For basketball, I'm watching the Kentucky Louisville game.
Oh,
That kid was at Stanford. There was a kid that was at Stanford.
The LOWE.
Low.
Yes.
Can somebody help us out with that?
The Player of the Year.
Thomas Jenkins, my man on the spot with all the information. Can you help us out with that? Who did Lowe play for
Wildcat,
last year?
yes.
But yeah.
Can Cam Robinson play quarterback?
Actually, I think he did play quarterback.
He probably could.
In Tappahannock or out there in northern or central East Virginia. But go ahead, Ed. Give us your closing monologue.
Sort of touching on the game Saturday. It was disappointing not to see anything called with Morris's injury. He gave himself up, and at least one of the guys, I think it was the defensive back, led with the crown of his head.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not unnecessary roughness or targeting or some combination of the two, the whole purpose of replay was to get the call right. I think they failed on a number of levels Saturday night, and just in the interest of I'm not it's not so much griping about the game, but that's a young man's health. We've seen more than once career turns on a single play, and it wouldn't necessarily even be our guy. It could be the young man leading with his head. That's a good way to get yourself paralyzed. And I've seen that happen too. And nobody wants that. So, I would just like to see him call the game. Don't try to determine outcomes. Just call the game. If it's targeting, call targeting. We've seen targeting called against us a couple of times where I'm like, I don't know, but if this isn't targeting or unnecessary roughness, I tell me what is.
Okay, all right. So let me come to you, Amy. Closing monologue.
I haven't watched any basketball games, but
you're watching one now.
I'm watching one now because that's all that's on.
Oh.
I'm really missing my baseball. I don't know. I think officiating has gone down the tubes on all sorts of levels, and I think it's like kind of retaliation on the officiants' part because of all of the electronic things that are being put into place to make sure that they're officiating correctly. I mean, they're all human. Everybody makes mistakes, but when you're doing it and it's causing kids to get injured and hurt, I would hate for Chandler to have really like a neck injury or something. Like if they're saying upper body or neck or something like that, that's bad. And you don't want a kid to go away.
There's our all-star Thomas Jenkins.
My thing is, why throw the flag if you're not going to go review it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
I thought that was the whole idea.
If you're going to throw a flag, then go review if you're going to throw the flag, talk about it, go look at the video if you can't agree.
That's right.
Don't sit around and say, okay, who's paying whose paycheck? Because that's the way that it feels like when you're on the outside looking in. And yes, thank you, Mr. Jenkins, for telling me who that low kid was.
Yeah,
he played at Pitt, so now he's in the SEC.
So let's go ahead and get your closing monologue, Amy.
AB or me?
Amy, you just gave yours. AB.
Yeah, Amy's talked enough.
well, we lost, so she's happy about that.
Well, into his life a little.
That is not true.
So, I'm all about, when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, and eating crow. I mean, I will say I had us at 8 wins this year. So I'm hoping that I can say, I was wrong. I will gladly say I was wrong. But right now we're at 8 wins. That's what I said, 8 wins. Furthermore, I think that My frustration is showing tonight because the same thing that frustrated me the last couple years has pissed me off this past weekend watching this game. And it's the same reason why I have not bought season tickets the last 2 years. And it's because I have not. Now, Tony Elliott has won me over a little bit. Oh, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm still not there with Des Kitchens. And I really honestly wanted to just put it on record that I'm saying that I hope Des Kitchens proves me wrong, but he continues to prove that I'm right. So I'm hoping that this weekend he can shut me up and prove me wrong, and I will gladly say I'm wrong too. But for right now, I'm concerned. If Morris does not play, I expect that he had better been working this week with Kalen and coming up with a way to still win games because, in my opinion, there's no reason that we should have ever spent money on somebody if we don't have faith in them to win this game or win games for us. So that's just where I'm at with it.
All right. Let me come to you, Wood. Closing monologue.
No, I kind of piggyback on that AB. I kind of agree with you, but kind of got a lot riding here. I wish we would decide whether Morris is playing or not. I got 6 or 8 tickets. I got hotel rooms for 2-3 nights. I got tailgate supplies. I got everything going down to Duke. So I wish they would tell me here soon because if Morris is not going, he's not going to play. We need to reconsider whether it's worth all that money or not. But no, that's where I'm at. I don't think we'll go support a backup with a poor offense coordinator. But I wish we will. I hope we find out tomorrow, or the next day, so we can adjust plans if needed. That's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. All right. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that this team just needs to continue to play tough, and be a team that is quite frankly is having one of the best years. Now, it may not show that statistically offensively, but they're playing one of the best years of UVA football. They can end up with 9, possibly 10 wins if things go right and certain players play in the game. I just think that, and I get the offensive coordinator. Everybody's kind of upset with him and everything, and they also, Tony Elliott. I think he's doing a pretty decent job, pretty good job of keeping the troops' spirits up and keeping them going and keeping the program running. I just think that there's other things that are also this program giving this program some bad spots that shouldn't be. And I'll say this: let's see how Daniel Kalen comes out. The proof, a lot of things will be said and learned about this program based off of how he plays coming out on Saturday. A lot of things will come back and rear its ugly head even more, and we'll be out there with pitchforks and knives and machetes, or we're going to see how much further this coaching staff has come. Right? We've seen the team come a long way because have been performing on the field moving forward. Now let's see how much it's time to really bear down and not talk about the defense. Let's see how much this offense has progressed. Special teams has lacked a little bit as well. Not a little bit. They've lacked because they've had some horrible plays these last couple of weeks.
That was ugly.
That contributed to this loss and almost a loss of the previous week. So let's see how this all shakes out.
And what I said, and by the way, let me just say it this way: when I said that, I wasn't meaning any shade towards Kalen because I honestly think the kid's got talent too. My shade was, do we have a coaching staff that can coach him? That's where that was coming from.
Yeah,
Right.
Kalen has talent. It's just is he going to be prepared this Saturday? I'll spot him the first half on Saturday, but yeah, it's he's the backup for a reason. So
Tony Elliott was the OC at Clemson for a reason for a very long time.
Yeah,
he is an offensive-minded person. He's an offensive-minded coach. If he's not helping Des Kitchen, or if he's not moving the pond where the pond needs to be to make the plays, then that's a problem, or it's a disconnect.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I thought I picked up on a little bit of that in his comments Saturday, that he was starting to lose patience, but maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part. But it kind of sounded like he was getting tired of this can't keep happening.
Yeah, well, there's a lot on the line.
No time like the present.
Has solidified another year as a coach, even if you do lose the next 2 games.
You're not going to bring him back for just 1 year, though.
No, but I'm just saying, I think this 8th season already, I think has kind of, he's working with some people that he has recruited, and he has gotten the team where it is right now. But if he keeps hanging his hat on Des Kitchen and you do lose the next 2 games, somebody's going to be losing their jobs.
Sure.
I think so.
Well, at least we have a head coach.
So let's go ahead and get to this basketball game. We still did almost an hour, but
do you hope we're looking for a head coach?
But we've done it quicker than usual. But we got to thank all of you viewers and listeners for hanging out, spending some time with us. And wahoo wah, go watch the game. Tip off is in 3 minutes. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. But as of now, this shop is closed. Thank you guys. We will see you next week. Go Wahoos.
Bye.